You know, when you accepted the challenge of creating an album all about angles, I was under the impression that it was going to be about life and how to stay ahead of the game and different ways to look at things so that I can change and be a better person. However, I was wrong. But real rap, this album provides a different perspective to life, period. All this time I thought I was living, but I was just alive. Humble brag, but if you listen to the intro about 13, 14 seconds in, I get the shout out of a lifetime. Didn't know what to expect, but I'm ready for it all.
You gotta let 'em know
you're not alone.
Talk to him, Jimmy. Talk to him, Jimmy.
Love, baby.
Talk to him, Jimmy. Talk to him, Jimmy. You're not alone.
Talk to him, Jimmy.
I'm not alone.
You are
Talk
loved.
to him, Jimmy. Talk to him, Jimmy. Talk to him,
Wait,
Jimmy.
that's not right. It's this.
Talk to him, Jimmy.
Salute.
Born by the River. You see, what most people don't know is this is an ode to Sam Cooke, A Change Is Gonna Come, and Erykah Badu, on and on. It's like when someone says exactly what you've been thinking the entire time.
Welcome everybody to the album.
Talk about connection. Before I get too far into it, I gotta give a big shout out, a big salute to Tone Jones. He's mastered most of all the beats on this album. Classic. What stood out to me the most was Sam Cooke's $3.06, and then Erykah Badu, Born Underwater. But if you cut that in half, you get 180. Change. The Devil Is a Lie. This is one of those songs that stops you in your tracks and you want to just double back like, who is he? That's my brother, Namliss. You ever make it to summer after having a really, really wild winter? Well, this is kickback music right here. Can't wait to get in the whip, take the top down, and just chill. You ever have artists that only you know about that you just want to keep in the tuck so you can have the ill exclusives? Well, this is the prime example of having a summer banger before the summer comes. I'm just ready, because the devil is alive. My blessings overflow. Nigalations. So, throughout this entire review, I'm gonna reference how amazing these beats are. I mean, like, it's banger after banger after banger. But you gotta hear the words. You don't wanna miss out on the message, on the picture that's being painted. This song is one of those songs that you hear and you like, I wanna hear this song live. And not just because I'm a musician, but because of the feel and the groove that it has, and it puts you in a time and a zone that puts you in your bag, it puts you in your zone, because this is real rap. I'm talking about like old school rap where they used to tell stories and you can see it as they saying it. Classic, it just puts you right back in that mind state of the first time you heard hip hop. The first time it was real to you. I mean, you can't ignore the keys, you can't ignore the guitar, the bass drop, the drums. It's like, what's next? The suspense is killing, and then it fades out toward the end. Come on. So then we move into Freedom. Now, Freedom is a soul bop. So, you see what I did there? I just created a whole genre of music because this is in a class by itself. One of my lifelong dreams is to be able to play all these songs live because of the feeling. I'm trying to restore the feeling. And there's no way I'm gonna let my brother be out there by himself, because we all need just a little bit of freedom. I haven't heard an album with so much replay value. I mean, from Alpha to Omega, this entire album, I just can't turn off. I find myself listening to it over and over and over again because I just don't want to miss anything. If I had to compare it to anything, I would say it was the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, because this is a classic. decide. I mean, the energy off rip. This is my bag. This is my vibe. You gotta understand, this is like old people, young music. Like when you sit back and you're like, dang, do I still got it? But that's a question only you can answer. You have to think. You're either hanging from the cross or banging in the nails. You're either standing next to me, supporting me, or you're against me. Either way, it's fight and never flight.
Keeping it a stack is just like knowing that this is the thing that I'm gonna be great at.
I do this.
Makes all the difference.
Do this. I do this. I
I'm just
do
hoping that y'all
this.
understand like how passionate I am
Do
about
this.
this. I think my man
From
Jack
start,
said, "Find your
from the
thing to do you,
from the
right?"
start of the song, I knew it was a banger. Everything, I love everything about this song. As soon as the beat drops, I had the stank face on, like the entire song just vibing hard. I haven't heard a song in so long that has inspired me to pick up my pen until now. To keep it a stack, this song changed my life by far in the top 3 of the best songs I ever heard by Namliss. Salute to you,
Keeping it a
King.
stack is just like
Hey, but that third verse was mine. It's like he took everything that I ever wanted to say.
Makes all the difference in the world.
You know what? To keep it a stack, that third verse,
I'm just hoping that y'all
by far the
understand,
best
like,
verse I ever heard in my
how
entire
passionate I am
life.
about this.
Like,
From matrimony to acrimony to acrimony to wanting half, the gavel slamming from alimony. Like the moral of my story was written by Tyler Perry. Yeah, she pretty, but she'll run you up.
Mo Better Black.
Mo Better Black, another classic. I'm big on music that I could just ride out to and just vibe in a car or at the kickback, you know, cookouts, everybody just chilling, having a good vibe, energy, positive. This is it. Mo Better Black, Mo Better Black. This is my joint right here. Fire. This might be number 4 of the best songs Namliss has ever done. Mo Better Black is just perfect. When I hear it, I envision opening a restaurant and us performing it live. Because it's gonna happen. Feels Like Home. Probably one of the most underrated songs on this entire album. Now, when my brother sent me the track and was like, yo, just check it out because this is the make or break of the album. At first I didn't understand it. I also wasn't feeling it. Only because it's something that I live on a regular basis. So as I took a step back and I looked at the entire picture of what he was painting, what he's saying, we all have our different ways of delivering our struggles. And this is it. This is our voice. It's all about how you break it down so that everyone can understand your plight. I mean, if you don't understand that, then your whole perspective is whack. You have to take yourself out of your box of how things are supposed to be packaged, or you're used to a certain way of music being delivered or art being shown. This is totally different. This is to reach the masses, to reach the people that don't understand, the people that haven't lived this struggle. It doesn't feel like home to me. You have to understand that as a black man, the only time I feel like an American is when I leave the country. Protest. You see, this is how real men formulate connections. Now hear me out. A lot of times brothers nowadays will take the approach of Derek Jackson and beating up the other man. But when you find your queen and she's about her business, you don't have to be flashy. You don't have to be loud to be seen. You have to formulate that connection. You gotta understand that I'm with you. I'll protect you. I rock with you. We're on the same page. This is not a game. This is the unity that we need in our community. And I'm here for you. In order for us to become one. It's all about the angles. See what I did there? One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2. 12, wow, this thing is fire. But you see, the thing about it is, people treat racism like COVID. You don't understand it until it happens to you. Every day we leave the house, you're at war. When you go to work, the last thing you want to do is get pulled over and be harassed by a cop. The struggle comes from the lack of humanity that spread like the coronavirus. I'm not saying all cops are bad, but if I could quote my brother Namliss, you fit the description of a burglar. Well, sir, you fit the description of a murderer. It's real life. It's a daily struggle, but it doesn't have to be, if only we listen. The energy on this track is the epitome of the frustration that we have to live on a daily basis. You know, it's ironic that people will have you on their team, but only as long as it's beneficial to them. We could have so much more if people were to listen and not judge, to think and not just react. I'd much rather talk, but all you want me to do is dribble. I look at it like this. If you think my best qualities are bouncing this ball, then you just missed out on how prosperous this relationship could be. My question is, when will it change? This joint speaks to survival and having the willpower to face life, even though it's set up for you to fail. You gotta have that determination to realize and to be able to still do it, to still push forward even when the ground is all shaky. If you really want it, you gotta go out there and get it. The only person stopping you is who you see in the mirror. The advantage is finding the right angle and then striking when you see your goal. There's so many people watching you as you create your legacy. What will your story say? What do you want to be known for? As a praying man, I realize that in order for me to make a difference, I have to be the example, or even you, as a praying woman. Angles.
Sometimes you gotta let them know.
This is an album the entire world needs to hear, from Born by the River to Praying Man. This is an absolute classic. Thank you. Salute, King. Hands down, by far, the album of the year. I'm extremely proud of you, big brother. You've maximized your talents and your skills, and you created a soul classic. You've met and surpassed all my expectations. Remember, you're loved, you're needed, but more importantly, you're not alone.
Talk to him, Jimmy.
Bet, kid.
You're not alone. Keep them coming.
Talk to Jimmy.
You are loved.
You're loved.
Break it down.
You're loved.